Hello? Can you hear me? All right, welcome to the free talk session. So I already hear some people in the chat are talking about talking about whether what the ground rules for this free talk session are. So I'm just going to I'm just going to clarify. I'm open to talking about most topics, but I'd say the only things that I'm not keen on talking about are like super serious stuff. So like political or not safe for work stuff, because I'm personally it's not that I'm against it just because I don't know, I don't really feel like talking about that stuff right now on my stream. I feel like the best thing to do would just be to have like a casual conversation and just talk about like how our days have been going, what we plan to do in the week, or just like, various stories from our life. So this is, I just want this to be a very comfortable and a very comfortable and low-key stream to so that's what it's gonna be. Yeah, cool. All right. So first things first, what I'm planning to, I got something really important done today. Hold on. This chat text looks rather small. I'm gonna go and fix that if that's all right. So what I'm gonna and no, my chat box isn't lagging. What it is it just takes, there's just a little bit of time. There's just a little bit of latency between when the when you type in the message and when it appears on my screen. So it's less lag and just more how latency works in general. So I'm just gonna go and tweak the chat a bit if you don't mind. Like, we're going to do some live tweaking first. So I'm going to just select chat box from the widgets. Okay, I'm just going to edit this one. Double click on this one. And let's see, font settings. We're going to make this a lot larger. Like, all right. So if you could type in some messages now, that would be super cool. Yeah. That I can see whether it's like an appropriate visible size now. So, as I was beginning earlier, I was saying that I got something really important done today, and I'm not gonna be like super public about what that is yet, but I'm very excited, and if things go well, it could mean something really, really big for me. I'm not, I'm keeping kind of a realistic outcome with this this thing I just did, because I'm not expecting to I'm not expecting for it to get in or anything, to get in or anything, but at the same time I did work hard on it. So like I'm putting my best foot forward and just I'm putting my best foot forward and seeing what will happen. So we'll see what goes. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, just to reiterate, the rules are nothing politics, but like if you're discriminatory in any way, I'm going to boot you from the chat. It's just Mado rules. And no, not safe for work topics, because I'm not particularly comfortable discussing those. So yeah, those are my two main rules, and otherwise most things are pretty cool. Anything's game. In terms of like, not, yeah, I think like in terms of like writing, messages and just like having a free chat and stuff, I feel like the best thing would be to just not talk about like not talk about heavy stuff. Yeah, just kind of like just taking things. We're just taking things gently for this free chat. Yeah. Um. Let's see. In terms of other stuff I did today, hold on, let me think. So I did a lot more of my usual work. I'm working on a couple of, aside from this project I just finished, I'm working on a couple of other art related projects just for like zines and stuff. So yeah, I'm just working on those, making sure they turn out well. And now that this big project is out of the way, I can devote more of my time to making them look good and making them look, making them look user ready. So I'm looking forward to devoting more of my time to that. It's really exciting for me. And and also yeah, I think that's about it, really. I think that's about all that's been going on in the past 24 hours, I guess. Since I last streamed on Saturday. Well, that's more than 24 hours, but I assume you know what I mean. Yeah. Let me think of what else. What else? Um. Oh, in other recent news, in other recent discussions, I recently finished the game Omori, and I'm super and I'm really happy I finished it over the weekend because it was really such an experience of a game, and I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing through it. It was, the soundtrack was really good. The ending was really powerful. It made me cry a lot. And I might do fan art if I have the time. I might do a little bit of fan art over the next couple of days, because the game really left a strong impact on me, and I really want to let other people know that it's a game worth playing through. So I'm just going to tell you right now, please play Omori, but do heed the content warnings before you do, because it's quite an intense experience as well. Yeah. Yeah. So here, I see you mention Homestuck. I see you mention Homestuck, and you're reminding me of when I went back when I was like 13 or 14ish, and I was really, really into Homestuck and stuff. It was a really strange time, that period of fandom, because I drew a lot for it. I was a big fan of one of the kind of more secondary characters, Calliope, and so I was quite active in her side of the fandom. And it was strange being a fan during the Mega Pause and the Giga Pause and stuff like that. I guess even back then, looking back then, you could tell that Hussey was getting more and more like tired of working on this comic, and how he kind of just wanted to move on to other things, really. But honestly, with the advent of Hiveswap and whatnot, you can kind of tell that he can never really escape Homestuck and whatnot. And speaking of the fandom too, I feel like it was one of the first real modern fandoms, in a sense. Like, it wasn't quite like fandom as we know it now, like fandom in 2014, 2015, but it was definitely kind of like a prototype for that, with like how things were tagged for, how things, how fandom culture worked, how things were discussed. There was a big like hype culture around new updates in Homestuck, to the point where there was like, a mini app developed for people who wanted to find out when the next update was, and like custom update gifts and like it was a pretty intense fandom, and the kind of the drive to create content was pretty, pretty insane too. Like when a new update came out, you felt pressured to kind of react to the new update in some way, either like by creating fan art or like writing a post or making memes about it, that sort of thing. Oh, and Astria, that's really wonderful to hear. I'm happy you're you're starting to draw again. It's a long process, but I hope you can I hope things go well for you. Drawing is not is drawing it again after a long time is by no means easy, but you're really strong for picking up the skill again. And hmm and I'm really happy that you're doing new material for your story too. Like if it's really exciting when you get through like a new burst of creative energy and you feel inspired to just you know write more. So I'm really happy. Recently got sent um well I mean I'm struggling to think of a think of a good topic to think about right now. Ah, just because like this past week was really intense for me because I was just like working nonstop on that big project I mentioned earlier, the one I just sent in. I was like putting a lot of elbow grease into making the artwork good and the singing good and the animation good. And I just I it was just kind of like nonstop intensity. So if this, if I'm a little bit frazzled right now, that's probably why. Just because I've just done a lot of work and I've just finished this big thing, and now I'm just like, okay, so I can breathe a little. It's a nice feeling. And it's okay, Ori. It's okay, Ori. I know if you're my internet hasn't been the best either, so I know how you feel. But thank you so much for the kind words. I hope things continue to go well for you for the rest of the day. My fingers are crossed, though I can't cross my fingers in this form, in this cactus fairy form. Um, let's see. What else? Um, I mean, this is kind of a random change of topic, but one thing that comes to mind to me is how much I kind of miss eating ice cream. And the reason why I say that is because I'm lactose intolerant. So if I eat ice cream without like lactate or any other digestiry supplement, then I'll get really sick, and I get a lot of stomach pains and whatnot, and that's no good. So I can't eat ice cream or eat like heavy dairy products like cream or milk as much as I used to. I hope you're having a good evening too, Sabrina. I hope you're having a good evening too. Um, and I kind of, there are times where I do kind of miss eating ice cream a lot, like just miss eating it, having it like two scoops with like lots of hot fudge and sprinkles and whipped cream and whatnot. But on the other hand, I also feel like eating less ice cream has made me feel a lot less sluggish and unhealthy than I used to. So, I mean, maybe there's some advantage to eating a little bit healthier. I'm not. So, I mean, there's kind of upsides and there's kind of some silver linings to this unfortunate revelation with my diet. I mean, another good thing I found about it too is that I've recently come to really like drinking oat milk too. Like you'd be surprised with how much like oat milk tastes, a lot tastes pretty similar to normal milk. In fact, I kind of like it as much as drinking a normal milk because it's very creamy. I mean, I know different brands of oat milk differ from each other, but there's this one brand of oat milk called Planet Oat that I really like drinking because it feels like drinking milk, and I've grown to really enjoy having it for like breakfast and stuff. It's really nice. Speaking of breakfast, by the way, it's been a while since I've had pancakes. Most days I just have like a cereal and fruit and a glass of fruit juice or oat milk, and that's about it. That's about what I have for breakfast. But sometimes I just feel like a really good platter of pancakes with scrambled eggs and butter and maybe a little bit of syrup too. My favorite kinds of pancakes are like chocolate chip ones with whipped cream, like the ones you get at IHOP. The ones like the little kitty pancakes with the chocolate chip smile and the maraschino cherry eyes and stuff. Those are really great. Those are a big part of my childhood. And I also really enjoy IHOP's cupcake pancake. I know it sounds like a really cursed entry. It sounds like a really cursed dining entry, but trust me, it's a really good dessert pancake. It's like really tooth-rottingly sweet, so obviously I can't have it often, but when I do, it's just really nice. It's just so sweet. In terms of other breakfasts I like, chocolate chip muffins are nice too. If you like, if you put cut up a chocolate chip muffin and you butter it, and then you leave it to bake a bit in the oven, it's really nice when it comes out because it's all nice and buttery and crispy, and just the contrast between the crisp and the butter is super nice. And I also really love waffles too. Like one of the things I like about waffles over everything else is how like you can put butter in like the little square wells and stuff, and like you can put like and you can put like butter like syrup in the wells too, and it's really nice when it gushes out. It's super pleasant. I love it a lot. Yay. Oh, in terms of breakfasts that I think are kind of, I think like also toast is nice too, just like a nice slice of buttered toast, because again, like the muffins and stuff, it tastes, it's got that nice contrast between, being crunchy and savory and stuff, and just makes you feel really nice and warm inside. So I'd like a little slice of buttered toast too. It's like the grilled cheese of breakfast. In terms of like breakfasts, I kind of find overrated though. I kind of find like the quintessential English breakfast kind of overrated. So like, beans, eggs, and sausage and that sort of thing. I don't know. I just don't find it as appealing as like pancakes or waffles and whatnot. Oh well, I guess this would be a good thing to transition into talking about some of my favorite meals ever. So I think one of my favorite things to eat is like a rare cheeseburger with bacon on top. So it's like with lettuce and a good fat tomato slice and onion slices with Thousand Island sauce and BBQ sauce and a bit of mayonnaise too, even though Thousand Island also has mayonnaise, and like all wrapped in a potato bun. That would be like my dream burger. Although, a beef patty is nice and all, but fairly recently I tried the Impossible Burger patty, which is like a vegan, I mean a vegan equivalent of a patty, and it's designed to like bleed and taste very similar to a beef patty. And to be honest, I actually prefer the I prefer the Impossible Burger to the beef burger, just because like it's, how do I put it? It tastes very similar, but it doesn't weigh on your stomach as much. When you eat like a lot of red meat and afterwards you feel it just weigh on your stomach and you feel like super tired because of all the iron in the burger. Yeah, that's something that kind of annoys me after I have like a burger or something. So that's kind of why I prefer to why I've been really getting into the Impossible Burger. But obviously not all places serve that kind of meat substitutes. So sometimes I do just opt in for a burger because, I do like rare meat. Speaking of burgers, I also really like steak tartare too. Like um I had it once and it was just like, how do I put it? It's like a burger on steroids. Like it's I mean, not in that sense. I mean in the sense that like its flavor is a lot more intense because of like the egg and the fact that the meat is like straight is like raw and stuff, and it's mixed with all these like nice seasonings and whatnot. And it goes great with like fries too, because you can use the fries to mop up the blood, and that just tastes really, really it's just really nice to do. I love that. Actually, fries, in terms of fries too, my favorite kinds of fries are like the shoestring fries. I think like I prefer thinner fries to thick ones just because I feel like the crunch makes them taste better. And I think that's especially true of shoestring fries because they're like really long and really thin, so they're super crunchy. And so they're like really easy to like chow down. And I like eating them more with mayonnaise than with ketchup. I just think mayonnaise goes better with fries. A lot of people tell me it's a kind of European way of eating them, and I agree because like one time I went with my family to Bruges, which is a city in the middle of Belgium, and they had a lot of like places where you could go and pick up fries known as frites over there, and you could get them, and they were usually served with mayonnaise, and they just tasted so good. And another classic dish they had over there was frites et moules, so like fries and mussels, and that was like really nice too. Like it was a classic dish they had over there, and it's just I really love that. I also had like a really good croque monsieur there, which is like it's like this a sort of variation on a grilled cheese sandwich where they have like mustard and ham in it as well as cheese, and it's also really nice. It's just a very warming food. And I mean, lest I forget, the chocolate there is also very good. There's like this chocolate museum, and they had like lots in the gift shop. They had like lots of little baggies of like chocolate pellets and stuff, like milk chocolate with caramel centers. And I bought some, and oh my god, the chocolate was so good. Yeah, so if you ever like go to if you ever have to go to a place in Europe, I recommend going to Bruges in Belgium because they've got a lot of really good food. The history is interesting too. Like there's some cool cathedrals you can visit, and it's nearby a lot of interesting World War I sites too. If you're interested on that, if I recall correctly, it's on the border of France too. So like if you go with like certain tours or whatnot, you might travel into like northern France or something like that. It's really nice. Let me think of what else. Other good food. Hmm. Well, I also really like an Oreo milkshake with whipped cream on the top. I love that. I love that so much. Now I know I said I was lactose intolerant, but you bet my ass I would eat it regardless of I would drink the milkshake regardless of whether I had my lactate or not, because oh my god. Oh my god. It is so good. Like when I go to the Cheesecake Factory or something like that, that's what I always order for a drink because I love how they pile up the whipped cream, and I love just scooping off the whipped cream with a spoon and eating it and then drinking down the milkshake. They really do great milkshakes over there. I mean, this is kind of a guilty admission by mine, but the Cheesecake Factory is unironically one of my favorite restaurants to go to. One time I heard someone say that one time I heard someone say that the Cheesecake Factory was like a kid's idea, like a 12-year-old's idea of what a fancy restaurant is like. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong. Because, like, it's... Well, like, the foods they serve are just, like, from everywhere, really. And there's some really, you know, interesting, for lack of a better word, combinations of foods. Let me just fix the server a bit, so... because my avatar doesn't seem to be reacting. But there's a really interesting combination of foods they serve over there, from like you know, Chinese food to Italian to, you know, classic American stuff. It's just like a whole clusterfuck of things, of various foodstuffs, and that's kind of what I love about it. And the same could be said for like the architectural design of the Cheesecake Factory as well, because like because, like, it's a weird combination, some weird, unholy combination of, Egyptian, Mediterranean, and American architecture, I think. And so, yeah, it's basically a, I do think the description of it being like a, fancy restaurant in the eyes of a 12-year-old is pretty apt. But, you know, you know, I kind of have the heart of a 12-year-old. So, yeah, that's kind of why it's my favorite restaurant. I really love the avocado egg rolls and the cheeseburger egg rolls especially. They're really good. I'm sorry. I know I'm like this, but, you know, they're really good. Huh? Hey, Anna, is the internet working? Huh? What? Oh, in terms of like which book I would bring to a desert island, Gyro? Um, hmm. Hmm. I think I think one of the books I'd bring would be the City of Dreaming books by Walter Moers. Because that's a really special book to me. Because it is a fantasy novel, but what I like about it is that it's one about being a creative. It's one about being really it's one about being a writer. It's about the process of writing. And I love like the little references it has to, like, you know, the classical body of literature, but also like the worlds it creates are super inventive, like the catacombs of Bookholm and stuff, and the concept of the booklings, and my favorite character, the Shadow King, who's, you know, just a really, really fascinating character unto himself. In terms of what luxury item I'd bring, probably either my computer or my iPad, because they're both key to me working on like the artwork and the productions that I do. So I consider them, you know, both very I consider them both very important to me. They'd probably be my first choice of item. And sorry about all the weird lagginess today. I'm not quite sure why my avatar is just kind of weirdly acting like this, like kind of like pausing and then ricocheting to mimic my movements. I really don't get why it's oh, it's back to normal now. It's back to normal. No, it's not. I have no idea why it's acting like that, but I'm probably just going to chalk it down to the poopy internet over here. You know, I might have, I don't know if I've said this before, but I think around February, when I start streaming in February, I'll be back in a place where the internet's a lot better. So, you know, I can conduct faster streams and there will be less of this weird avatar behavior, I think. So I'm hoping that will be the case when I head back to my apartment in February. but for now, just bear with me. Yeah, so those are the items I would bring if I were, forced to go to a desert, if I were banished to a desert island. And then in terms of I'm probably guessing that the next question would be like, what CD would I bring? What kind of music would I bring? And that'd be a really, really tough decision. That'd be a really tough decision because I have a lot of genres and artists that I love. But if I had to choose, I'd probably pick Florence and the Machine's album Lungs, because I find her work very inspirational. Like, she's telling stories within her music, and her style is very varied, but she has this very regal, gorgeous quality to it. So I really love listening to Florence and the Machine's work, and I think that will be the disc I'll bring to. It's a shame though, because it means I have to forgo bringing some stuff from Ceremonials or How Big, How Blue, How Beautiful, which also has some great tracks too. And it's a shame. Or alternatively, I might bring Marina's The Family Jewels, because a lot of stuff that I listened to when I was a young teen was on there, and so it was a very formative album for me. Stuff like with songs like 17 and 17 and Hermit the Frog and Malgi's Road. Those are really interesting pieces, and that one. Also Gyro, yeah, I'm the only other person in the house with me right now is my twin sister, and she's and I might just I might just ask her to do that for future. I might just do that for future streams. Just ask her to go analog for a bit to just make things easier for me as I stream. This won't be a problem. Again, this won't be a problem when I head back to my apartment, because I'm the only person living in it because of COVID stuff. So that won't be as big of an issue for me. And in terms of Wi-Fi extenders, unfortunately, the Wi-Fi router is a floor above me, and I'm not keen on bringing it down because the Wi-Fi router currently belongs to my aunt, and so I can't really do anything about extending it and getting an Ethernet cable and connecting it to my computer. So I think that will unfortunately have to wait until A, she upgrades her internet, and B, and B, I figure more of this internet thing now. Good night, Zahir. Please sleep well. Take care of yourself. Now, to think about other things. Coming back to what I was saying earlier about the Cheesecake Factory, though, they serve, quite a few. I mentioned the avocado egg rolls and the hamburger egg rolls too. But one thing that another thing that I really like actually is their what is it? Their ahi tuna nachos. I think that's what it's called. I'm not sure. The ahi tuna tartare, I think. That's really nice. It's really flavorful, and I think the avocado complements the oiliness of the fish. I think it's really nice. Oh yeah, and I also really love the bread baskets they give out too. I know most restaurants give out bread baskets, so this isn't anything special, but I don't know why, but I think the baguette bread they serve at the Cheesecake Factory, when you just butter it with the butter, it tastes really nice. It's nice and warm. I love it. So yeah, suffice to say, in spite of the weird, confusing reputation it has, the Cheesecake Factory is still one of my favorite chain restaurants. I have no idea why. I am just like this. I also really like Chinese food too, both traditional Chinese food and American Chinese food. Both are really good. On the American Chinese food end, I really love crab rangoons. Those are really nice. And I also love pork dumplings and lung mian, which is cold noodles. I love those. I think sweet and sour chicken's quite good too, so that's quite nice. And and I like egg fried rice as well. And in terms of traditional Chinese dishes, fish eyes are really nice, and the way they do vegetables in China is really good. Like they actually season their vegetables, so it's not a pain to eat them. They're really nice over there. I really like that. And I also think like a lot of the noodles over there are nice too. Like if you just stir fry with like chicken and some vegetables and stuff like that, you can get a really nice and fairly healthy meal out of that. I also really like, the handmade dumplings you could do over there too. Like you take a bit of meat, and then you take a bit of pork, and then you season it a bit, and then you wrap it up in the tiny little dumpling wrappers, and you just get some really nice results, really nice and comforting results. Oh, and Mexican food's really nice too. Like I love nachos is a given, especially when they're covered in a lot of cheese and guacamole and sour cream, even though sour cream sets my stomach off. And pico de gallo, that's really nice. And I also really love quesadillas too. There's this one Mexican place that's fairly nearby my apartment called Felipe's, and you can get a really good quesadilla there. Like it's covered in it's got like cheese on the inside, but it's like got chicken and guacamole and it's fried in a way too, so that makes it like crunchy and cheesy, and I just love that. I really love cheesy stuff. And I love queso dip. I love guacamole. I think burritos are quite nice too, but they can be quite heavy from time to time, so I don't have them often. But yeah, burritos are good too. And I also love what are they called? They're these kind of sandwiches, with tortas. Yeah. I also really like tortas because they're like just they're basically just another form of like a grilled sandwich, where like you got the toasted bread, and you got like avocado and chicken and cheese. It just makes for a really, really nice flavor. Like, I guess you can see kind of a recurring themes in foods I like and stuff, with like cheese and avocado and cream and chocolate and stuff like that. I like a lot of dairy products, which makes being lactose intolerant a bit insufferable. Although, like, I can tolerate cheese, so it's not the end of the world, and cheese is the main ingredient I really, really love. Oh yeah, I also really love Italian too, but that's like, that's like a given, like mozzarella pizza and a pizza with mozzarella slices. Ooh, that's nice. And a little bit of basil on top. And I also really love, I love spaghetti. I really love spaghetti, like where they put the big, fat, juicy meatballs on. It's just really nice, and you top it with mozzarella. I've never been a huge fan of Parmesan, but, topping it with mozzarella just makes it taste so good. And lasagna is nice too. I love lasagna. I like tortellini as well. I'm not terribly picky on pasta types, but I think my favorites are like the little twisty ones, and tortellini. I like that. Those are my favorite pasta types. And I also really like, this is kind of moving into more Spanish food territory, but I really like paella too. And this actually reminds me of a story of a story from when I was in middle school. So when I was in middle school, there was initially I was in my school choir, and I was a music scholar there. So what happened was, because of all that stuff, we were kind of required to go on like a school trip to a country, because it happened like every other year that a lot of people in the kind of top tier music groups, they went off to tour around in another country. And initially the country we were going to go to was Helsinki, but then at the very last minute, plans were changed, and how do I put this? And so we went to Spain instead, and we went to a kind of more, well, I don't know what the best word for is. Rural, more off the beaten path part of Spain called Palencia. So we stayed there for a bit, and we did a lot of touring around like a lot of these small villages there. And one such village was a place called Covarrubias. And in Covarrubias, Covarrubias, we went to dinner. So what we did was we all gathered around a table, and we were being served a lot of local delicacies, like a lot of tapas, like what was it, chorizo and stuff. So the chorizo was very good. I love chorizo. And paella, seafood paella. So I had the seafood paella, and I personally found it really delicious. But then one of the other people who was sitting across from me, one of my friends, she was like, I'm not sure if I should eat the oysters or not. I'm not sure I like oysters or not. So I asked, so I said, oh, why not? Try it. I really like the I really like the oysters, so you might too. And then she ate it, and she was like internally screaming because she hated the taste. So she was like, and she like just like, and it was just really funny to see, but also kind of sad because I thought the seafood paella was quite good, and I just think seafood might have not been to her taste. Also, Gyro, it's okay. It's okay. I actually have not been paying much attention to the rules myself, and I personally don't think you've been and you've been doing fine. You haven't been like getting on my nerves or anything, so it's cool. We're cool. I'm pretty chill about this stuff. We're all good. Yeah. Imagine me giving you a thumbs up to tell you it's all good, but I can't because this avatar doesn't have arm movement. So yeah, that's what happened during that that tour. But also Covarrubias, after we performed in the church over there, the locals from there, they brought over like a whole big carton of cherries that they recently harvested, and they gave it to us as a thank you gift. And the cherries were really good because they were like super fresh from harvest. They were like super sweet and super tangy, and cherries are another one of my favorite fruits. So it was really nice to just taste them and just enjoy them. That was really pleasant. So so I enjoyed that a lot. But one thing I did notice was that in one of the cherries I bit into, there was because they were like straight fresh from the bush cherry trees and stuff, because they're straight from the source. One of them had I think a maggot wiggling through them. So I was like, oh, there's a maggot, and then I ate it. Yeah, it was a bit of a gross story, but it didn't honestly taste that bad. So, maybe eating bugs is in the future. Also, yeah, potato buns are, yeah, Gigi, you're right. Potato buns are the best. Like, I mean, I see a lot of burgers get, like, served on a brioche buns or ciabatta buns, and I'm like, those are okay and all, but potato buns are the best because A, they taste really good, B, they soak up, like, the other things inside the burger really neatly, so that makes them taste even better, and C, they are a lot easier to digest. I mean, I don't know if this is true for everyone else, but they're a lot easier to digest for me than I think brioche buns. So personally, I think burgers should make a transition from using like brioche buns or stuff like that to using potato buns, because they just feel lighter. They feel better to eat. So I love potato buns. They are the best. Oh, speaking of other things that are really nice to eat with burgers too. Mozzarella sticks. I love mozzarella sticks. So like there's this place nearby my apartment, there's this place nearby my school apartment where they do superb mozzarella sticks, because like the mozzarella sticks at school, like they serve them at school, but the thing is that they're kind of soggy. They don't feel like they feel kind of squishy and soggy, so they kind of don't have that like nice crunch I look for when I'm eating a mozzarella stick. But the mozzarella sticks in the place that's nearby my school, they are super crunchy. Like they have this really nice crunchy exterior and this really like chewy, stringy interior. So that's just like a super good mozzarella stick. And that place also serves like really good tuna melts too. So I might just order from them more if like school isn't serving anything. Like if we're on holiday and they just decide, whoops, we're accidentally closing all the food venues, which has happened, by the way. That's what happened during Thanksgiving holidays. So I had to order from there quite a few times, but I'm definitely ordering from there again because the food there is super good. Yeah. Other good stuff. I like hot dogs too. Like if this actually reminds me of when I went to Iceland with my family when I was younger. We were exploring like with a tour with a guide through the I think through like the Rocky Masses and stuff, and nearby the glacier nearby Eyjafjallajökull. And one thing he did was that he brought along like hot dogs, Icelandic hot dogs, I think. And he cooked them, and when I had the hot dogs, they were like super juicy and super nice. I'd really love to go back to Iceland because it's such a nice place. Like it's small, but it's really beautiful. The nature is really nice. The food is really good, like a lot of seafood and good desserts and stuff. I had a really good chocolate souffle there once. And the attractions are really nice too. Like there's some good museums and some of the historical stuff, like the church in Reykjavik is really gorgeous, and the Northern Lights, and of course the Blue Lagoon. The Blue Lagoon is really cool. Also, like the electricity and heating is super cheap because it's all geothermally powered, which is really neat. And I think more places should take a page out of Iceland's book. I really love Iceland. But coming back to the Blue Lagoon, that was really nice to go to too. Like you have the bitter cold of Iceland's weather is like in February, so it's like winter there, and then you step into the Blue Lagoon and it's super warm. It's just really nice to walk through. I love it a lot. Yeah. Just, I don't know, being in America a lot makes me how much I really miss traveling when I was younger. I mean, America's really fun in of itself because I've done road trips down here with my family, and it's just interesting to see how different all the states are from each other, just like in terms of culture and atmosphere and what they have to offer and stuff. And I found that really neat. But at the same time, you know, not being able to travel outside has been kind of a made me a little bit sad, especially like in the COVID year, in this COVID-19 these COVID-19 times where like you know, if it weren't for COVID-19, I'd probably be back in England right now with my family. But right now I'm stuck in right now. I mean, I'm not complaining because I've been having a nice time here too, but you know, I do miss my family a lot, and so yeah, being separated from them has been kind of hard, especially since this is usually the only time I get to see them in the year. But, you know, I'm hoping that, you know, if everyone's responsible, we can, about this, hopefully the disease will eventually let up, and I'll, you know, be able to make up for lost time with my family and see them maybe in the summer. I'm hoping that will be the case. Yep. Those are just the Mado thoughts for today. Food, travel, and going and missing home in this quarantine fueled year, these quarantine fueled times. 2020 and now the beginning of 2021. It's been a wild year. It's been really wild time. I'm just hoping things will improve and people will finally understand what's causing all these problems and, you know, take efforts to solve them. I'm hoping that will be the case, not to get into details or anything. But, you know, I'm hoping that people realize what the source of the problems are and that they, you know, make the efforts to make life better for others and to improve their living situation while we still can. Yeah. I'm just hoping that will be the case. So I think after this I'm going to be going into having dinner with my twin. She's currently upstairs drawing a bit, and she's a little bit disgruntled that she's had to be locked into the upstairs room while I'm streaming. This is just a kind of a routine we get into. She's just kind of upstairs doing some artwork right now, and I'm while I stream. So afterwards we'll be going downstairs and we'll be making a little bit of dinner. I think we'll be having a grilled cheese, which is nice. I really love grilled cheese. It's another good comfort food for me. So I'm looking forward to having that and having just this nice gentle food. Yeah, I think it'll be a nice comforting dinner and a nice celebration of me celebrating that. A nice celebration of me finishing that big project this evening. So I think it'll be all good. Yay. And I think, you know, after that we might just settle down and watch a movie or just doodle a bit or something like that. It'll be a fairly low-key night, which I think is what I need after working really hard the past week. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to all of that. I hope you know, despite it being Monday and Monday being the start of the week, I hope you all have a very gentle and relaxing evening too, in spite of everything, and you know that you all take care of yourselves and treat yourselves well. Like if you haven't yet, maybe make yourself some nice dinner or get yourself a snack or watch something you like, because you know this has been a really tough year on everyone, and so doing what you can to just relax and take things and to reassure yourself and you know, just work on productive stuff, you know, that sort of thing. Doing that sort of stuff is I think more important than ever. Yeah. So yeah, I think this I think this would be a good conclusion for this small free talk stream. I'm expecting that there'll be more of these free talks streams in the future, because these are really relaxing on me and I enjoy doing them. I enjoy just speaking my thoughts and answering other people's questions and discussing things with them when I can. But I think I've just I think I'm currently feeling no thoughts, head empty right now again, because I'm just really pooped from this big project. So yeah, that's all I have to say right now. Thank you so much for coming along to the stream, and thank you for chatting with me while you still can. Thank you all. You've all been a really great audience. I really appreciate you there, and sorry about all the technical difficulties as well. I'm sure they'll let up in February. So, but until then, see ya, and take care of yourselves. Bye.